You are live on Mad Bomber Podcast from the Luxor Hotel. Podcast. What do you think of that?
Oh man, that is beautiful. I mean, what a game
That's
to go!
from the
What a game to go to see the Raiders get a dominating win, look really good on defense. I mean, Devin White had an incredible first half, interception, sack, bunch of tackles, and Ashton Janty continues to look good. And the thing that amazes me the most about him is the amount of yards he gets after contact. And this is really something that they're able to build on, especially with the amount of inside zone they're running. They're looking incredibly good doing it.
I just saw it's going to be hard for me to hear you because it's crazy in here, so I'm going to let you roll. But the things that I saw live is I saw Trey Tucker open all game. I didn't get to see Jack Besh was open. They didn't go to him once. They didn't go to Jacoby much. And I don't know what it looked like from home, but it just seems like we keep running the ball up the middle. And I know that I saw your text in the middle of the game that inside zone was not open. Can you tell us what you seen there?
Yeah, well, I thought they were able to get some good blocks, especially with JPJ. I thought he was really good in the running game again. My big thing is with Janty, even when he gets a little bit of contact on him, he never goes down on the first tackling attempts. Whether it's a couple guys getting on him, he's able to get about like 3 to 6 extra yards after that. Can you hear me?
Stay good. I'm gonna go around the corner.
So, yeah,
hey, I'm moving. Go ahead and talk. I'm moving.
Yeah. So, look, with Janty, he does a great job getting about 3 to 6 yards after contact on multiple plays. Even when they're using him in the passing game a little bit, when they get him matched up when a corner has to come and tackle him, it's really hard for the corner. There was a couple times where L'Jarius Sneed had to make some tackles, and he would either miss or Janty would just kind of drag him for an extra couple of yards. With a lot of things in the game that I thought were really good with this offense. I thought Geno incorporated Michael Mayer a lot in the game, especially on a lot of short passes. It was nice to see Mayer come back and have a little bit of an impact in the game. We didn't really know how Brock Bowers being out how the Raiders be able to handle it, but I thought Mayer did a pretty good job getting open in the zone. And with a lot of Trey Tucker had finished the game with 70 yards. He had the one big play where it was a comeback route, and I think it was the third or fourth quarter where he made a guy miss, and then he was about to take it for another like 40 yards after the catch and really get the Raiders in the red zone. So that was another really good thing in the game. Of course, the only thing that was really concerning for the Raiders in the game was the Raiders had the ball in the red zone on the fourth quarter, and it's 1st and 10. And they do a bootleg, and Geno throws the ball across his body, misses Mayer, throws it behind him, misses him by like 2 feet, and it's an interception. When I saw that, I'm like, oh no, here we go again with the Geno interceptions. Are the Titans going to be able to capitalize on this? And this would be a disaster, especially how good the Raiders were playing. But fortunately for the Raiders, Tennessee just wasn't able to do much of anything today. And whether it was the pass rush, Max Crosby had a really good game. I thought Laulu had some good pressures as well. He did. I mean, he's the one that really forced that interception to Devin White.
You know what? It looked like I saw after the play was over, I watched Geno come off the field. He looked like he was saying he was trying to throw the ball away. Okay, so two things aren't good at that. If he wanted to throw the ball away, I like it. But what I didn't like was that he didn't throw it away the right way. And we'll break it down this week for sure. But we're gonna go ahead and finish with we do some Geno, and then we'll get what you saw on defense, especially on TV. But with Geno, it looks like he's playing scared. I have my daughter-in-law Marky. We were walking over the bridge back over here, and she mentioned it. She's like, it looks to me like he's playing scared. If you go to Trevor Lawrence's Monday night game, remember that game where
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
he was a man possessed. You
Yeah.
could tell that he was not going to be denied. And what I saw from Gino today is when he came out in pre-games, and I don't know, we're going to have one of our guys come on with us here soon, who's sitting
All
next
right.
to me. He's like the Oracle, almost as good as the Oracle.
Maybe better.
Right there. He's right there.
Oh.
I found somebody smarter and better looking than both of us. No, not his dad. Anybody but his dad. But what I saw from Gino today was I liked the rollout pass on third down, which was nice. And I believe that the Raiders should have gone to that a little bit more. And let's get him off his point. Stone Forsythe looked like he was getting eat up all day long, from my standpoint. But when Gino came out on announcements, there was grumblings. There wasn't, the fans were like, Max Crosby comes out, there was a ripper. Genty comes out, the fans are going, in pregame. But not this guy. This guy was like, he came out, and I heard a few boos. My son said the same thing. He heard a few boos as well. So we were not happy with him. I thought the first drive looked good, but then again, we'll break that play down. It was almost like the same thing happened in Indianapolis. White came in, their linebacker came in and did a stunt. And went exactly where DJ Glaze should have been. Again, the same play that we broke down on Friday.
Yeah. Look, I thought, especially with Forsythe, he gave up a sack to Draymond Jones. I remember. I think a big thing that happened for Tennessee was their rookie linebacker at UCLA, Oladejo, went out in the game. He was making some really good stops against the run. And, I think there were two big injuries for Tennessee. One being Oladejo, because they weren't really able to replace him. Jihad Ward came in, but he didn't really make an impact in the game. But a big impact for Tennessee was Calvin Ridley going out in the game. Now, Van Jefferson stepped up a little bit. He was able to make some plays for Tennessee, but that was the guy that Cam Ward was really able to build rapport with down the field last game in Arizona. And he didn't have him this game, and I think that really made a difference. As far as the line goes, look, Stone Forsythe, he's still working his way in. He is a backup, and he's not going to come in and be as good as Colton Miller. But I thought overall they did serviceable. There was, and especially as the game went on, there was a little bit in the first half where there was a couple pressures on Gino where I'm like, oh, I don't know. Now the Titans had some penalties that really helped out the Raiders. I think there was an illegal contact, if I remember correctly. That was kind of now when they showed it on, I don't know if they showed it on the jumbotron.
No, they don't show it when it's not for the when it's questionable.
Yeah, and it was a really ticky-tack call where the Raiders
and they didn't capitalize on it.
No.
And that was what happened. All right, so we're gonna taste. We're done tasting the Gino Kool-Aid. We'll break him down because it's hard for me. Like, I can understand how when Pete Carroll gets up there after the game and he says, you know what, I got to look at the tape. Because everything coming at you, especially where I sit, or stand, where I stand.
No sitting. No sitting.
That's for fat asses, and I'm not a fat ass.
Yeah, that's for people in wheelchairs.
Yeah, those are wheelchair people, which they have to.
Yes, of course.
But what I'm saying, go ahead and hit that email. I'm going to get you on. What I saw good-wise, first drive I was like, man, we're stopping the run. The whole game we stopped the run. And Devin White had a game to be – he looked like a man possessed out there the whole game. He had one play where he was like, he had a bad coverage play. But he did a very, very good job on the runs. I think the whole front line did. But holy smacks, we're going to talk about Max Crosby all day long. Go to the bottom and then come in.
Especially in the fourth quarter. He got that big sack on against Latham where he hits him with a ghost move at first, and then he's just able to chop his forearms and then get to Cam Ward. The amazing thing about Crosby is the amount of plays he plays in a game. People can make an argument that Myles Garrett is better, and you can make that argument. You can make an argument about Nick Bonito on Denver. The amount of plays that Max Crosby plays really puts him, I think, probably at the top of the list when it comes to edge rushers. And the fact that he's still able to be as relentless as he is in the fourth quarter really speaks to his off-season conditioning and in-season conditioning as well.
All right, we got a new guy. Introduce yourself. We got the new Oracle. I'm just gonna call him Oracle number 2.
Not quite.
Hey, scoot over that way. I think we're double dipping. So check it out. Tell us what you saw, and because he was actually where he was sitting. Like, you explain where you were sitting and what you give us. What did you think about the game, other than Geno?
We're sitting in the south end zone. You can see the game pretty well. You can see the plays develop. But yeah, it was kind of like we were playing in mud. I mean, we won the game. We were supposed to win the game, but it just, I don't know. It didn't feel like we could have killed them, but we didn't. You know what I mean? Like, it was tough. Like, we did what we were supposed to do, but getting there was tough.
All right, starting with the offense, and then you can go ahead and ask some questions about the defense, Alex. On the offensive side, what did you see? I know Jimmy, your dad is on the line. He thinks we need a better O-line. I agree that I thought they played a little bit better today, but I don't think that I think they're not helping Geno by not giving him, like, they're putting him right. They're dropping him in a drop back, 5-step drops. They're not moving him anywhere. When they did move him, he got a nice pass to Mara, a nice pass to Jacoby. What did you see from the offensive line? And then I'm going to ask you about the receivers next.
Oh, you're talking. Sorry.
No.
I didn't hear it.
This is live. We love this shit. No. We're going to get your analysis.
Oh, okay. What were you asking? I'm sorry.
Offensive line.
Offensive line was atrocious. I mean, he just does not have time to throw. They need to just do quick throws. There was that one series where sack. They just need to get the ball out, and it's just boos. And it was hard to watch it sometimes.
Where was the point of attack, though? Where was it coming, and where you were sitting?
It's coming right up the middle. I mean, he had no time. Geno would step up in the pocket, and it would just – there was no pocket to step up into. He was just stepping up into a wall.
And Alex, from where you were sitting at home, they were stunning again, weren't they? Were you running that stunt from the right side, the offensive left side to the right side again?
Yeah, I definitely saw a little bit of that. And in the second quarter, the Titans were able to get some pressure. I did think that Chip Kelly and Geno did a pretty good job with Kelly orchestrating a quick passing game, whether it was to Michael Mayer that they were really starting to establish in this first half of the game. And then in the second half of the game, they were starting to get Trey Tucker involved a little bit more. Myers, they kind of sprinkled in here or there. But I thought they did a good job of under center runs, a little bit of play action, and then they incorporated some bootlegs in there where they're able to when you have a bad offensive line, you need to move the pocket a little bit. Not just have Geno stand there stationary right in between the line. You need to be able to get Geno out of the tackle box and be able to change the launch points for where the pass rushers, so they're not just knowing where the quarterback is and they can just go tee off. You need to throw them a little bit of a curveball here and there. And
I thought he tried that a bit. And then on where you guys were sitting, was it me, but did you notice Jack Besh and Trey Tucker were open the whole game?
Yeah, I mean, him and Mayer, I mean, they were just open. The mid-range is there, but there's not enough time, and he can't get the ball out.
Yeah.
I think that that's something that he's got to move forward on, is like moving the pocket. I remember watching Denver do that reverse, and that was your heyday, was the Jake Plummer, right around the Jake Plumbers and the Greasies, and they would do that where they would kick that, they would do a fake bootleg, they'd fake the trap, do a bootleg to the right, and then they would flood the zone with either a tight end, a running back, and maybe even a wide receiver. But what they weren't doing is they weren't setting up Jake Plummer, Brian Greasy, and just as a 5-step drop and looking for the open guy. They were throwing their guys open. When you have a bad offensive line, that's something that you need to start incorporating, something like that. And I saw a little bit of that today. I think that they're trying to force the issue with the 5-step drop. And Gino, from where I was standing, was still looking down his receivers the whole game. There was a pass in the first quarter to Jacoby Myers that was like, boy, that was close too. What'd you think?
I mean, I think he needs to be like Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh. He just needs to get that ball out. He can't move around. He's old. He can't move around. He just needs to get that ball out quickly. And I think it'll work that way. I just don't know what they're waiting for. I don't know why they think these runs that take a lot of time to set up and trying to throw the ball down the field, it's not working. I mean, they didn't really throw the ball down the field this much or tonight, or today. They just need to get the ball out. I think that'll solve so many problems.
It looks like they were looking to throw the ball down, though. That's when he was being sacked.
Yeah.
Alex, what do you have for our new Oracle?
Yeah, one thing I want to ask you guys is, were you a little surprised that Blue Kelly got the start instead of Darian Porter today?
Yeah.
Considering how Blue Kelly's played.
And Porter never even hit the field. He was 0 snaps today.
Yeah.
I think Caillou had a couple good plays, but other than that, he's still struggling. He's really, really struggling. They just make the young there.
In the pass game, yes, he was struggling in the passing game. But he came up. I'll tell you what I did like about the Raiders this year's Raiders that I didn't like last year was, and I believe this is why I like this is why you leave Pete Carroll alone. This defense is going up and down for the most part, though. Those cornerbacks are coming up and tackling. They're gang tackling, and I was pissed off at the Raiders last week for being a little bit nonchalant with their tackling. I mean, they feel like they were the tougher team last week. They were getting beat around, but damn, it sure looked like run support from the outside was awesome. I mean, Jamal Adams looks like a man possessed out there on.
He had some good tackles today, yeah.
He had some good tackles today.
Yeah, it feels like when the score gets out of hand, too, they take their foot off the gas, and that's what makes the secondary look like
they did.
Yeah.
And then they're playing.
They're in the game. They're in the game. When the line gets home, yeah, they're able to come up and make plays.
Do you have any other questions for the new Oracle?
What did you guys think of Alex Bachman? I thought he had a couple good punt returns.
His returns were great. He was getting to the edge really, really quickly. He looked fast out there. I had a couple, we had a good vantage point of him finding the holes or finding the edge, and he was getting around there. It was great.
What do you think of the special teams so far today?
I was just happy that they didn't run kickoff. I mean, that guy is dangerous for Tennessee Titans. So I think we did great. I mean, hey, nothing was called back. There wasn't a kickoff return called back. There wasn't a kickoff. I don't think there was a kickoff return, past the 40. I don't believe. Yeah.
No. I thought it was.
That was what I was worried about. I was like, they're going to get some easy points on special teams.
No, they look good. They stayed in their lanes, and we'll break it down on Thursday.
Right.
Well, hey, man, thank you for coming on with me and the Oracle. You're the new Oracle. I have this kid. I met this kid last night at the Black Hole Party with his dad. His dad's been a great friend of mine since he was 7 and I was 10. And he was 6 and I was 7. Isn't that the new thing the kids say?
Apparently, yeah.
Can we do the 6-7 thing on this? This is called the Mad Boomer podcast. Fucking boomers there.
7 means, and
I don't know what it means either. I don't know what it means. I just think I don't know. I don't know. So I don't. What does that say in the 6 dozen to a half and another? I don't know. Hey man, well thanks for coming on.
Thank you, man.
I got your email. I'm gonna have you on. Not only is he a great Raider fan, he's a great A's fan. He's a great A's fan.
Oh, nice.
His dad's a Doyer fan.
Doyer fan, huh?
Hey, you know what? Look, people are asking, are we winning? Not yet. I don't know. They may or may not be. I can tell you that for sure. We are live from the Luxor. All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
I
I got to hang with him. just to end it, I had to hang with him and his dad at the Black Hole Party last night, and it was a blast, man. We had a good time.
Yeah, we
Thank you
did.
for coming on. I appreciate it. I begged him, Oracle. I said he was the closest thing to you I've ever seen.
Hey, he might be better. You never know. See, that's the thing. You never know when someone better might come along. So you always got to be on your toes.
All right, bud. Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Thanks for coming on, man.
Raiders just win, baby.
It'll be a
Enjoy the wins
beautiful
tonight.
Monday.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? It's a shit win. I agree with him 100%. And you know what? The whole time at the game, watching the game, you're like, okay, don't F this up. You know what?
Yeah.
It's just get this thing in the bag, get it to, and when it was 20-3, I'm like, okay, we're good. At the end, it was garbage time. But what did you think overall analysis about what you saw from watching it from your vantage point?
Overall, I think it was a great opportunity for the Raiders to get back on track. There was a lot of chatter. Should we put Kenny Pickett in? Maybe Pete Carroll's a little too old. He's senile, all that stuff. I saw him catching passes before the game. He doesn't look. I don't think a senile guy could catch passes like that, by the way. And I just think it was a really good opportunity for a lot of guys to get back on track, whether it was Crosby getting pressure again, Devin White starting to make some plays, especially with the whole Jermaine Pratt thing. Oh, my God, we lost our best linebacker. I thought Devin White came out and said, oh, I'm your best linebacker, actually. And I think offensively, Janty continues to be the guy that was as advertised. He finished with about 80-something scrimmage yards, had a touchdown, and which is very impactful in the game and continues to show with his yards after contact that he's going to be a very special back in the league. Do they have the best blocking for him so far? No, but he's a great guy to have. And all the talk about, oh, maybe we shouldn't have taken him, we should have taken a lineman. No, they definitely should have taken him because he's the guy that's their best player on offense right now, especially with Brock Bowers being out. And I thought Trey Tucker continues to show that he didn't have a great game, but he had a solid game. And I think he's really starting to show that he's a consistent player. He's not one of these guys that will have 100-something yards one week and then he'll have like 20 yards the next week. He's really showing that every time he takes the field that he's going to be a consistent player. And Michael Mayer getting back on the field, starting to make some plays, being a nice check down option for Geno in the short passing game. That's really good. The one thing that was the biggest blunder was the Geno pick in the fourth quarter, because when you're up by 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, your opponent is not the Tennessee Titans anymore. It's the clock. And when you throw an interception if you're going to throw a pass on 1st and 10, you got to make sure that it's going to be either an easy completion or it's going to be an incompletion. And you really don't want to throw an incompletion at that point because you don't want the clock to stop. I mean, the big thing is you want to make sure the clock keeps running. Even when Cam Ward in the fourth quarter was getting some yards, and I know the secondary may have not looked good there, the biggest thing was they were completing passes in bounds and the clock was ticking.
Right. Right. And you know, you and I have been baptizing Palomau, and I watched him a lot. He had a good game. I'll tell you who I was a little upset with, and I don't know if you noticed it. We're going to break the film down. And anybody out there who's listening right now, looks like we got 65 people out there on both sides. What's going on with Malcolm Kuntz? There was 2 series in a row that I was like, I told me and the guy I stand with, my Uncle Alan Gaston, my other hot dog buddy, we were watching it, and it's like, I am not noticing anything from him. Laulu was just, we're going to show this greatest move ever. There was a move that Laulu do before I go back to Kuntz. But Laulu was double teamed and he went like this, like this, like this. There's like 4 little quick, one to the right, one to the left, one to the right. So it was almost like each offensive lineman was like, do I take him? Do I take him? Do I take him? And then he split through both of them for the sack. The sack that he came up.
Yeah.
With. He had a great game, but Malcolm Kuntz from the edge, and I noticed usually Malcolm Kuntz is a stand-up technique, and he was in a 4-point stance, on some of the plays, and I'm gonna really look at that too, because I didn't see him being effective when he was in that stance. And I don't know
Well,
what they're trying to do with him, but I didn't see a good game from him. And I'm going to go back. He's going to be my, like I did with Stone Forsyth. I'm going to go back for a couple of games and check out him, because I didn't notice any production last week. And one of the players was on inactive this week. JJ Pegues, kid from Ole Miss. You know how much I love him.
yeah.
He was an inactive guy today. And I was like, whoa, he had a really good win rate last week in Indy, and he was on there. But they had Tonka Hemingway was on, made the cut today. So back to Kuntz. He's on a 1-year contract, right? I haven't seen a good game out of him yet. I've seen stretches of okay play. But
Yeah.
was just lighting it up on the inside.
Yeah.
Him and Butler. Adam Butler had another nice game, especially
Yeah.
against the run.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you saw from Kuntz. If you were, it's tough to see it on TV because you're only seeing what they give you.
Yeah, I be honest with you, I really didn't have my eyes on Kuntz. The one thing I could say is I didn't see him make a play in the game. I mean, definitely saw Max Crosby making plays, definitely saw Laulu making plays. I thought I saw Tyree Wilson get a little bit of pressure on a handful of plays, which was nice to see. And then Lakey Fotu had that nice sack, I believe in the third quarter, where I think, one thing I noticed with Tennessee is they almost had some of the issues that the Raiders had with being able to pick up some protections. The Raiders really put a lot of guys on the line of scrimmage today, and it makes sense. You're playing a rookie Cam Ward. You're going to want to confuse him. They would line up a lot of guys. They would blitz a little bit here and there, but a lot of times they would show like they're going to send a cover zero, but then they would drop guys out into zone coverage and really be a 4-man rush. But yeah, with Kuntz, they brought him back, and look, he's never been. There have been years where it looks like he's going to really take off. I remember a couple of years ago, I thought he was going to really take off and be a really solid player for them. But as far as on the edge, whether it's him or Wilson, neither have really established themselves as that premier other edge rusher that the Raiders are looking for. I think easily in terms of the pass, being a pass rusher, Laulu is the second pass rusher behind Crosby. And yeah, Adam Butler is a guy, he's probably their best interior defensive lineman, maybe in terms of value, just because of the amount of snaps he plays and because of how good he is against the run. Yeah. And if they were to lose him, that would definitely be a big loss. But yeah, you definitely want to get more out of Kuntz, especially on a game where in some of these games coming up, especially with Kansas City, where you're going to need all the pressure you could get on Patrick Mahomes, because you're definitely not going to be able to blitz Patrick Mahomes the way you blitz Cam Ward today.
No, that's not how you beat Patrick Mahomes. The recipe's already been made on him. You go too high on him, and then you can blitz him, but you got to blitz him from the right side. You can't blitz him up the middle because he releases and then he hits the open guy, and you can't blitz him all the time. What I did notice today, because you and I talked about it last week, and I kept my eye on him all day long. Max Crosby did not drop into coverage, did not. But what I did see is they had him over the center and guard, like he was in the A gap. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that. The one thing I'm starting to notice is when they run these stunts with Crosby, where they have him try. Usually it's Thomas Booker's the guy who's setting the pick where he'll occupy double team, and then they're going to have Crosby loop around. I don't know if that's the best way for the Raiders to rush, because whenever they loop, offensive lines, when they're playing the Raiders, really pay a lot of attention to Crosby. When they see him loop around, usually the opponents are pretty good at getting two guys on Crosby to make sure he's not the one that comes around in the loop and makes the play. I really think. And another thing that I saw on Twitter this week was that they're lining up Crosby not as the 7 or 9 technique where he's usually across the tight end or the outside shade of the tackle.
Explain that 7 and 9 technique for our people out there. Explain that.
Yeah, so on the defensive line, there's a 0 to a 9 technique. Now, the 0 technique is the guy who's right across the center. And the more you get away from the center, the higher the numbers are. So if you're outside the tight end, you're the 9 technique. If you're if you're head on a tackle, you're a 5 technique. If you're in between a guard and a tackle, you're a 3 technique. So Max Crosby usually lines up anywhere from the 7 to the 9 technique. So he's pretty far
best
out.
at.
Where he's best at, yeah, because he's a guy has a ton of athleticism. You want when the tackle gets into depth and he drops back, Crosby's able to get a good amount of space rushing the tackle, and then the tackle's just not able to handle the moves that Crosby has. Now, Crosby ran with a lot of speed rushes today, where he got to the outside shoulder of the tackle. One thing that I'd like to see a little more with Crosby, if I were to nitpick anything, is, and I don't know if this is maybe how they saw it on film, because J.C. Latham, this was his first start coming back from injury.
Right.
But I would like to see Crosby maybe counter a little, where he sets up like he's going to attack the outside shoulder of the tackle and then counter going inside, because sometimes I would see him run past the quarterback a little bit. And when you're playing a guy like Patrick Mahomes and you run past the quarterback, Mahomes is going to step up and he's going to either run for a good chunk of yards, or he's going to find a guy downfield, whether it's Thornton or Hollywood Brown or even Kelsey, where he's going to – and the last thing you want is taking Max Crosby out of the play, because none of these other Raider guys are going to be able to generate pressure on a consistent basis.
Not just that, you have to stay in your lanes with Mahomes. And they talked about that. Whenever we play the Chiefs, and then you have Patrick Graham coming up and explaining what they're going to do, he knows that you can't rush him to the point. You have to outside. You have to blanket rush him. But going back to the 9 technique, I saw that today, where I forget his name, 85, the tight end.
Okonkwo.
Yeah, Nakongwa. What I loved about that is the first time he set up inside by the tackle, right? And then he chipped Crosby, and then he went out for a pass. Crosby then, when he did the 9 technique, went way out, so that when he was coming in, he knocked into the tight end, and then had kind of a head of steam on the tackle. So it wasn't like he was in traffic. You know what I'm saying? He would come off, pop the guy. I mean, Crosby's got beautiful hands.
Yeah.
He's got beautiful hands. And what he did was he'd come off, hit the tight end, and then boom, he was already a bowling ball coming at the tackle. Beautiful, beautiful technique. But when I was watching him go on the inside, which they're not going to be able to do against the Mahomes, do you hear the Raiders?
Oh, yeah. I love it.
That's it.
Hey,
That's a lot of beers are being poured right now, young man.
Was my man playing the trumpet in the parking lot today?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a sight to
we
see.
know nothing about. But what I saw it, I'm like, is he fucking over the center? And then I saw he would do the sidestep to the strong side, and then coming around and go through the guard. And a couple times he had success with that. But I'm like, because I was looking like we had talked about last week, I was looking at him dropping a protection. Snowden started the game and dropped into protection. And it was kind of like, okay, we're not going to let you have that quick pass. That's what it seemed like he was doing. Snowden's number 49, who also plays a 9 technique like Kuntz does. He was on the other side of Kuntz. I mean, the other side. Now, people thought that Crosby played the whole game today, but he didn't. They brought him out and they spelled him 3 series in a row. He didn't come in until the second or third play. So I did see him come out a couple of times. Not much, and I'll be interested to see his numbers, snap count tomorrow when I get home. But anyway, now building on this win, you go into Kansas City, you got to feel good. You're feeling good. Kansas City's not playing well, and they play tomorrow, or they play tonight, right?
They're playing right now. Yeah.
Right now. Oh, good. Well, then let's wrap this up. Moving forward, this is a win you needed. You can't go into Kansas City the way, but I can still say that rightly they won the game. Wrongly, they didn't dominate. but that's a good enough to say we got the win and we didn't play well enough. What do you think about this win? If you're a Raider right now, you're Max Crosby, you're Ashton Genty, you're Brock Bowers, who didn't play. What is your mindset going into Kansas City?
I thought the Raiders actually played pretty well, considering how they've looked in some of the games past. And going into Kansas City, and we'll see how tonight goes. When you're playing Detroit, that's going to be a team that really beats you up physically. And if Kansas City loses, they're going to be very hungry to play the Raiders. If they win, they're not going to be as hungry. But at the same time, Kansas City has some work to do, and they know that they got to be able to make some work up. And they're going to think of the Raiders as an easy win for them. Maybe not an easy win, but a winnable game. And they're going to be really motivated to get back on track, especially with Denver winning today. But as far as building goes, I think the Raiders have really established that inside zone is their number one go-to running play. That's something that Lincoln Kennedy talked about a couple weeks ago as far as getting go-to runs. And so far it's inside zone because Janty is so good on finding the cutback lanes. Yes. And then once he finds the cutback lanes, it's a good mix of patience, vision, and then being very hard to tackle. And then even when they get contact on him, he's able to keep his body moving forward to where he could get a couple extra yards and really drag them along. I think Janty is really starting to, he may not have the numbers that are outstanding, but when you really watch the games, he's really making an impact, and he's really making it tough on the defense to be able to get him on the ground. And I think that's their real go-to going forward.
Yeah, I mean, so where I stood today, where I stand every day, there was a play where they just couldn't get him down. That was that run that went to the outside. They finally got him, and they pushed him out of bounds. He was up all the way up through the sidelines, and you can just see that there's guys punching at the ball, hitting at his legs, and he's not going down. It's going to be exciting. If you're a Raider fan right now, you're going to be excited if we can go ahead. We're going to be $100 million, roughly $100 million under the cap next year, but we only have 31 people signed for next year too, so that's going to be tough. But you're going to go ahead and try to get yourself some linemen, some offensive linemen, and we're just talking offense right now. I don't want to go and do the bigger scheme of things, but to make Ashton Genty better, Geno Smith's not going anywhere. So all you TMZ podcasters who happen to stumble onto my show, this guy's married to Pete Carroll. Unless he just shits the bed hard, I don't think he played bad either today. I mean, did anybody watch Fernando Mendoza play yesterday, right? Well, I was on Twitter. I was on Twitter yesterday, and boy, everybody in the Raider fan club says that he's the next Kurt's going to ask, are you still holding back on your Geno evaluation? Not till 17, week 18, I will give you my full evaluation because I still have to see the offensive line. I got to see a healthy Brock Bowers. I got to see a Jack Besh in there. I got to see all this stuff. And Ashton Genty, it's a work in progress. This is a new team, second youngest team in the NFL right now. So if you think that you're going to be, Scott doesn't have a podcast going right now. There you go. I love it. Yeah. So you're new team, new team, new quarterback, new offensive play caller. He was getting chastised on Twitter during the game. It's like, oh my God. Although I will ask you about the one throw to Alex Kappa. What was that?
I put that down on my notes. I'm like, okay, why are they throwing?
Hold on to that.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I believe it was 1st and goal at that point. And, that was right after the Devin White strip sack, and then they recovered it, and they had the ball at the 2, and they line up I think they had like 7 offensive linemen on the field, no receivers. And look, I mean, I'm not a big fan of these jumbo personnel packages, and because I think you get enough guys, you got guys like Michael Mayer, and even when you get on the goal line, and I get it. You want to pack everyone in. You still could put two receivers out there to make it the threat of a pass. Whenever you get in these goal line scenarios and you have like 7 offensive linemen, the defense has a pretty good inkling that you're running it. And even if you run play action, you don't really have enough guys that could separate. I mean, Alex Kapp is not going to separate. And
he was double covered.
Yeah. Now they did end up scoring a touchdown there. That's when they threw the touchdown to Michael Mayer on there. But yeah, I mean, look, if Chip Kelly's getting paid $6 million a year, I would expect something a little bit better than that, utilizing personnel. I mean, you could even put Trey Tucker and Myers out there and then have Mayer and then Thomas as the tight ends there. So, I didn't love that. But luckily, it didn't come back to bite him.
Oh, I have some thoughts on that play because you have Ashton Jeanty. And another thing I saw we'll talk about is Raheem Mostert was in. Did it look to you like Ashton Jeanty got banged up on that play where Geno laid him out? Thought so.
Yeah, I mean, there was a play where Geno looked like he got banged up too. I remember.
Well, when he went to slide for the first down.
Yeah, his knee buckled.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did they show it?
Yeah, they showed it. Yeah, his knee buckled.
Okay, well, now, I got to watch.
Now, he was able to jog off the field, so that's good news. I mean, hopefully there's nothing that pops up on a news report where it looks like he's dealing with something. I know some people still want him gone, but
no, I don't.
He's still the best. Look, he came out and proved today that he still could make some plays. He's not worthy. Now, if he would have came out today and he would have been horrible in the first half, kept throwing picks, I do think we would have seen Kenny Pickett today, but that didn't happen. And he was able to show that the job's still his. But hopefully nothing with him. And I'm glad that even though Jeanty was hobbled, it looked hobbled for a little bit, he was still able to come back in the game and still be effective.
Yeah, because Mostert came in on when they were in the red zone, and I'm like, okay, Jenny's got to be hurt because Geno laid him out on that play. And it was a great play call because, seriously, the DB made a great play on that because the DB was rushing in and saw Jeanty and just hightailed it to the back to get him to make the play not well. So, yeah, well, we will talk more on here we go. We got
Kelly's O should show better.
Kelly's O's should be better disguises in the red. What do you think about that? I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I do think they ran the ball well today. The one thing I will say that I'm noticing with Chip Kelly that is really a theme that's continuing to build is a lot more pre-snap motions that he's continuing to have. And I love it too. I think that's something that's really helping the offense because, like I've said before, when you line up static and 2x2 personnels, no pre-snap shifts, no motion, it's just very easy for the defense to identify the route distribution, the route patterns that the offense is running. But
he does with Myers a lot, and I love it. I just wish that we could get Myers off a little bit. I know, again today, Myers missed another block. Myers made a beautiful catch that Geno, you know what? And I was looking at that pass when on the replay they showed it, because sometimes these people on this Allegiant Stadium stink. They don't show all the replays, but they did show that one. It is interesting, very interesting. It's boring for me, so I'm looking for anything. But what I saw is that Geno had a guy right in front of him, so that was the only place he could throw it, and it was a little behind him. So people were like, "Oh, that was a shitty throw." Not really, because I was in the line of the throw from the corner of the end zone. I saw that. So, I mean, we're gonna take this one, guys. I'm gonna take it. Me and the Oracle will go home. We're gonna dive into this game. Then we got a lot of tape to look up for the Detroit game, but we're going to have a beautiful victory Tuesday. We haven't had a victory Tuesday in a month.
So good.
I will see everybody here. Let's watch this. Let's watch this, Oracle.
No Hall of Fame talk this week.
Thank God. This is at the end. This
You
is
can give
where I
Rod Martin a
stand
break.
at the top of 246. Can you see it there?
I like your clear bag. Yeah, nice bag of chips you got there.
That's a bag of peanuts. Dang
Oh, bag of peanuts. Yeah. How much do those cost? Are they $2.99 as well?
No, my buddy bought them and he didn't want the rest. So, me being the guy I am, I'll take anything if it's free. As long as
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When the Tennessee Titans come to a place like Las Vegas, what is their fan base like? Because with Raider games, sometimes, like when Chicago comes, there could be a very heavy presence of a visiting crowd. What is it like when Tennessee Titans come to town?
Nobody. They don't draw well.
I figured.
And you know what? There was a lot of empty seats today, Raider fans. Hey, you guys suck. Well, no, but you weren't here. You weren't here. Empty seats. My buddy got a ticket last night for $50.
What?
$50. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Husk is right. Way smaller. Usually when the other team comes out, like on pregame, I could tell you what the fan base is. There was no tight. And we noticed it all week long. AFC South teams that have small fan bases. That's my son Kyle was actually at the game sitting in our seats today.
Nice.
Sit in. But yeah, that's kind of what the AFC South doesn't draw, and I don't think they draw anywhere. The games we got coming up, like the Jaguars in 2 weeks, they're coming up. Oracle, you're more than welcome to come. I got to move my butt. I'm sitting on a ledge here. But the Jaguars in 2 weeks, they won't sell out. Their fan base is bad. And especially since Trevor Lawrence, what a great quarterback on Monday night he was. He's turning the page. Remember, he was on Scott Van Pelt, and everybody was kissing his grits.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it was like it's all about the sec down here.
SEC.
Oh, SEC. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I get that. Yeah. Actually, good call, Husk. Good call. But what I did notice, I saw a lot of Steve McNair shirts that I would say that there was 2% fans there today. The Raider 2%. Fans were there. They were loud today. They were very loud.
Yeah.
But I saw Steve McNair jerseys. I saw a few Cam Wards. And then I saw, Eddie George. I saw some Eddie George jerseys.
Yeah.
Which is always cool. And to be honest with you, because I'm never honest with anybody.
Yeah.
Ever. I love saying
me neither.
To be quite honest with you.
I can tell you right now.
To be honest with you, because I'm very never honest.
Yeah.
Their fans are like I had 3 in front of me. I almost wanted to see if they were alive. They were like, "Are you guys alive?"
Yeah.
The only that guy that I showed you the picture of the McNair, he kind of popped up every night. He was a cool guy though. He wasn't a dick.
Nice.
But since there was a lot of cheap tickets, there was a chance for people to come to see the game. There really was. And it was a winnable game, so you figured that we'd get some people, to come. But anyway, we will have a victory. We'll have a victory Tuesday. And let me see if you could. I wish I could show you. This place is turning into a wild Raider nation tonight.
As they should,
dude. Wins in the NFL are not easy. They're not. They're never easy.
No. There's no Kennesaw States. There's no Eastern Michigan.
Hey, you guys want to come up on a podcast and say Raiders for me? Here, we got some fans.
Here we go.
Well, did you guys have fun today?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Did you guys eat good food today?
Yeah.
All right, where are you from?
We're from California.
Which part of California?
We're from Oakland.
Oakland?
Yeah.
I'm from Dublin.
Dublin.
Oh, yeah. Well, congratulations. You get to go home with a victory tonight. Well, thank you for being on Mad Bomber Podcast. Come over here and say hello, young man.
Oh, hello.
You
Hey
from
there.
Oakland?
Yeah.
All right. Well, these are Oakland fans. That's the real deal right there. Parents, big Oakland fans?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. You guys have a nice night. See that?
Look at you. You're a man.
Oaktown.
You're like Mr. Rothstein in a casino right there. I mean, you
Uh,
got first of all.
what are those young kids doing in a casino right now? Probably drinking beer. Who knows?
Yeah.
Uh-oh,
Hey,
look at
between
this.
you and them,
They
you got the
always
all
get-
Alameda team.
That was cool. That was
Yeah.
unscripted. We didn't pay those people.
No.
To be
never.
quite honest with
No.
you.
No. To be
All
quite
right,
honest with you.
Oracle. Okay, what's the score of the Chiefs game?
Oh man, you love putting me on the spot. Let's as for now, we're gonna keep it positive. So we're gonna say that the Raiders win by a field goal. Actually, no. Let's go with this. They're gonna block a Harrison Butker field goal
Yes,
and hold on to a 1-point lead.
Uh,
To be quite honest with you.
Oracle has his noses growing by the minute. Anyway, we will see you guys on. I will see you Tuesday. We'll see the Oracle on Friday. And hey, guys, Raiders won. Take this win, man. Don't be ashamed of this win. I know it was the Titans. I know. But you know what? We can win next week. All right. So we'll see you guys on the Oracle.
Just win, baby.
Just win, baby. Just win. Raiders. Bye now.
Now it's Siani to the left. Biletnikoff to the right against Marsalis. Back is Lamonica. Throws for Biletnikoff. Touchdown Raiders! Biletnikoff is having words right now with Marsalis. Fred caught that ball after quite a physical battle with Marsalis in the right corner of the end zone. He went on out of the end zone, and then instead of slamming the ball into the turf, he ran back in about 10 yards to where Marsalis was and defiantly slammed it in the turf in front of Marsalis. The two tight ends are lined up as tight ends. Back goes Darrell to pass. He's looking for Smith, but instead goes down the middle. Chester, touchdown Raiders! Holy Toledo, what a great call! 19 yards and a Raider touchdown to make it 22-3. Chester had gotten free at the 5 and was all alone in the end zone 2 yards in. The Chargers now have a brilliant opportunity to put this game away. Here's Williams to the left, Garrison to the right, flanks right, Charlie Smith out to the left as a wingback, leaves only one back to block, that's Hubbard. Lamonica back, gets fine blocking, now he throws down the middle, Branch at the 20. Branch at the 18, tripped up, keeps going, reverses to the 15, he's at the 10, he dances down to the 9-yard line. First and goal to go Raiders. 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go, and hang on to your hats. Branch is still in. He goes to the right, slotted inside Biletnikoff. 5 defensive backs in there. Lamonica gives to Smith, sending him to the left. He's got Upshaw in front. He's at the 5. He's at the 2. It's a touchdown Raiders! Charlie Smith from 9.5 yards out. Oakland has gone in front. Clarence Davis is in for Charlie Smith. He's a deep threat on pass reception. Back goes Stabler to pass. Steps away from the rush. He's going to run up the left side. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10.